Hello everybody, my name is EK, welcome back to some more Old School Runescape. Today it is way too warm right here. It is 35 degrees Celsius, which I just googled is 95 degrees Fahrenheit, which I'm just not built for. But we are right now at the melting pot, which is kind of what I feel like. You know, beautiful transition. You only get it on my channel, right? You know, nobody else does transitions like that. They're beautiful. Well, we're at the melting pot today, and what I want to go do is check out this minigame. Now, I was thinking to myself, I can check it out on my own. I can go to a normal world and just like play around with all of this stuff. But then I realized nobody does that because nobody's stupid. And nobody wants to do whatever they have to do here on their own. So why don't you join the party? So I looked up a world, and we're now on world 355, which is the world, or one of the worlds, for the blast furnace. Now, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I do see in the upper left corner of the screen, it says coffer, 0 GP, time, no hours, no minutes, no seconds. So I'm guessing I have to pay. I also noticed that these guys, Pumpy, Dumpy, Stumpy. Wait, aren't these the dwarves from? I'm not sure what the name is, but like the fairy tale thing, the story, like the kid story thing. There's Numpty, Pumpty, Dumpty, Stumpy, which I don't think Thumpy. I think these guys were not there in the other world, so I did a little bit of investigating before I started recording, not like guides or anything, but just like kind of scanning around the place on a non-world specified to this minigame. And I noticed that these guys were not there. And I noticed that I could engage with a lot of different things. What I'm thinking, and I'm like 90% sure I'm correct, I think these guys are here on this world specifically to help me out, and I pay them. I think that's because, you know, I talked to some NPCs and stuff and they gave me like a little bit of information. I think I pay these guys. So I haven't really engaged with the mechanics just yet. I wanted to have that on the recording, of course. But here we go. I guess what I'll do is I will grab gold ores because they're, you know, easily convertible because there's one gold ore into one bar. So that's easy. So let's just see what happens. Can I just walk up here and throw it on the conveyor belt because I saw put ore? You must ask the foreman's permission before using the blast furnace. Okay, who is the foreman? There's Orden. There is... Oh, there we go. Blast furnace foreman. I can talk to him. Haven't talked to this guy yet. You get to work. What? You are here to help work for the blast furnace, aren't you? What is the blast furnace? Okay, help me. The blast furnace is the pinnacle of dwarven metal processing. Ore goes into the top and comes out as metal bars almost at once. And it's so efficient it only takes half as much coal to purify it as a regular furnace. Oh, so I can make the... Was it steel bars with like 2 coal and 1 iron, right? So I can make them with 1 coal and 1 iron. I think that's really convenient. Okay, cool. But we've got a bit of a labor shortage at the moment. I've got some workers from the city to operate the pump and the pedals and to stoke the boiler. But when the machine breaks, it'll need a good whack with a hammer. Now, I guess because we're not well dedicated to this, someone's always going to be doing that, so we don't need to do that. That's beautiful. To get it working again. So how can I help work the blast furnace? The blast furnace will only work if there's a group of people keeping it going. Let me explain. Oh, okay. So firstly, the stove needs to be kept filled with coal. If this runs out, the furnace will not work. Secondly, someone needs to operate the pump that keeps the hot air blast circulating through the furnace. Thirdly, someone needs to help keep an eye on temperature gauge. They should tell the pumper to start or stop so that the temperature stays in the right range. Lastly, someone needs to be on the pedals to power the conveyor belt that puts ore into the furnace. Someone will also need to be on standby with a hammer in case the machine breaks. While that's going on, anyone else can put their ore on the conveyor belt to have it smelted. So what do I get out of it? Keeping the furnace going is valuable experience in itself. Repairing the furnace gives experience in crafting, plus everyone working the furnace will get a bit of experience in smithing whenever anyone smelts an ore in it. Oh! That's cool. So I don't actually get paid then? I offer you the privilege of working on the greatest example of dwarven engineering and you want to be paid? If you cooperate with a group of people, you can all get your smelting done pretty quickly. Or perhaps some humans who need to do some smelting will pay you, since you humans are all so obsessed with money. No wonder you have a labor shortage if you don't pay your workers. What would be the point of making money if I gave it all away to menial workers? I mean, money isn't important. What about the greater glory of dwarven engineering? What about the satisfaction of helping others? What about the XP? I mean, to be fair, you've got me there. Okay, I will get to work. Splendid. Okay, so... did I have another option with him? Pay, I can pay him, okay. What is this? The fee to use the furnace is 2,500 coins. Okay. We'll go get it then. Okay, sure. What I'll do for now is I'll just grab the entire stash. Here we go. Let's see what we can do. Because I saw a timer up there, so I'm assuming it's like time intervals or something. So pay. Pay 2.5k to use the blast furnace. Yes. Okay, you can use the furnace for 10 minutes, which starts counting down even when I'm in dialogue. Remember, you only need half as much coal as with the regular furnace. Okay. So now that that's done, we put the money back. We grab the gold ore. And we yeet it into the conveyor belt, right? You must put money in the coffer to pay the workers. Oh wait, we pay the workers? Wait, hold on. So this guy... He's like, you pay me to be able to operate it, but to be able to do labor, but also we pay the other workers. So, you know, we're kind of like an employee right now who is also paying the other employees for the sake of experience. Like, this is like the YouTuber equivalent of being paid in exposure, guys. So, let's see. Gold or... Wait, this is the purchasing thing. Wait, hold on. Where was the thing? Was it somewhere here? The coffer. Yes, okay, use coffer. How does this work? Deposit coins. How many? Let's just throw like 10k in there or something. Coffer now contains 10,000 coins. Oh wait, so that has bought me 8 minutes. Okay, okay. So can I now just loop this thing for 8 minutes? Oh, I see my GP just like being drained. Ooh, that feels bad. Oh wait, I didn't mean to deposit that. It's fine though, it's fine. We grab these. So do I now yeet it in here? I guess I do. Okay, there we go. And now I grab it from the melting pot? No. Do I grab it from the bar dispenser? All. Oh, there we go. Alright, so is this all we do? Do I deposit? Bank chest? All? Loop? Like put it on the conveyor belt? Have them all in there. Wait for them to be at the bar dispenser, which should be like almost instantly. There we go. Click it. We click it. There we go. Take all. And we loop around again. And it's pretty good smithing experience, I suppose. So is this the entire minigame, guys? Because that is, you know, a pretty chill minigame, I guess. The thing is, there is a cost to it. Like a fairly... I mean, I'm not sure if it's a hefty cost, because maybe it's only a hefty cost like relative to my current levels of wealth. I'm assuming it's not that expensive. But I guess this does make it a little bit less fun to do as... Wait, the bars are still molten. You need to cool them down. What? But I didn't have to do that previously. Wait, check bar dispenser. There's gold bars in there. Can't I just take them? Oh, now I can. Wait, was there a timer? Or do I have to cool them down? Because I do see a bucket and water there. So am I supposed to cool them down? And am I supposed to always cool them down? Or is it like an on occasion kind of thing? Not quite sure. Anyway, I think I kind of have it down, like at least this basic setup. So I guess I'll keep going for a while and I'll pop back in. Yeah, there's probably a way in which I can cool them down, but honestly, just waiting next to them seems fine as well. Like, the duration is not that long. I feel like running back and forth to go and grab some water, it probably takes longer. Although I'm going to go out on a limb and say that there's probably going to be some gear piece, like some smithing piece or something that allows me to just take them anyway, like oven mitts or like whatever. Because it kind of feels like this game always has ways to bypass mechanics that slow you down. I'm probably not really making much money off this, but, you know, that's fine. I'm mostly here for the experience. So I'm pretty sure I can see when it turns cold, because first of all, it's orange, and then after the orange is over, it turns more like a brownish color, and I think that means it's cooled down sufficiently to the point where I can, you know, I can grab them. I think almost everyone here is running around in the agility armor, because I suppose that makes it a lot easier to run around without having to wait for stamina. So it speeds up your leveling process by quite a bit, I think. This is definitely one of those mini games that I would love to optimize, because I think there's a lot of optimization to be done here. At least in terms of gear. I should probably start using this deposit inventory because it's quicker than opening 2 different menus. There we go, smithing level 47. Members can now make Shaizian Boot 1. Is this every tick, by the way? Is the coffer going down every tick? Because this is faster than a second. And I'm assuming that's every tick. It drops down by 12. So does this cost me 12 gold per tick, which is 0.6 seconds? So like 20, what's it, like 22-ish gold per second? I mean, that ramps up very, very quickly if you want to do this for hours and hours and hours. But I guess making millions down the line is not like hard to do, or not very hard to do. So I guess it's fine. So yeah, I wanted to at least give it a bit of a shot. I don't really intend on spending too much time here right now. This is one of those things again where I'll return off screen. I'll do like a bit of grinding and stuff. What I was wondering though, and I wasn't able to figure it out, is whether there's like a specific gear set here as well, because a lot of the mini games have like a separate currency, like the golden nuggets and stuff, or the abyssal pearls, I believe they were in the Guardians of the Rift, which you can then use to buy like exclusive gear to the specific environment. And I don't think that's the case here, so I guess this is literally just a furnace where it's just a quicker process of, well, smithing bars. Now what I'm of course wondering is, can I use these bars, like these golden bars and like all the bars and stuff, can I use these to then throw into the Giant's Foundry, I think it was called, and then also level through there? Because then I have a really, really nice thing where I can spend a lot of time in the model load mine, grind a couple thousand ores, bring them all over here, go through all of them over here, and then bring them all the way over to Giant's Foundry and then turn those things into swords. I don't know if I need to do an intermediary step where I turn these into weapons and then turn those weapons into a Giant's Foundry stuff. I think that might even be better. But I'm thinking for this, I'll probably look up the wiki and kind of just see what people are doing. Because, now in my mind, like the way I like approaching it is like in my mind, I've now got like a bit of a, hey, this is probably good. And now I like seeing, hey, what are other people doing? So let me know in the comments on this video, by the way. Don't spoil like any mechanics outside of these 3 separate sections, please. But, feel free to let me know if my theory makes sense. Like, should I be doing model load mine into wow. Why am I just forgetting the name of this place? Into the furnace? What? Why am I just blanking all of a sudden? This is the blast furnace, and then move all that into the Giant's Foundry, and then be done with that. Let me know. Anyway, there is going to be something else, of course, that we do in this quest as well, which I will show you guys right now. Okay, guys, remember how we were here in this kitchen a very long time ago, and we did Cook's Assistant. And he has a secondary quest, and people have been talking about this quest for a very long time. People really want me to do this quest, and I think today is the perfect day for us to start this one. So, without further ado, let me look into the quest list and let's look up Recipe for Disaster. It is a very long quest. It is a quest I can start by talking to the cook in Lumbridge Castle. It is standalone, it requires cook's assistance, level 10 cooking, and no other recommendation. But it being very long kind of scares me, because I have played a fair amount of quests right now. I have completed 37 quests, which is not even close to being all of them, but it's a nice amount to kind of get an idea as to how the quests work. I've done very short ones, I've done short ones, I've done medium ones. I haven't done a long one, and I very much haven't done a very long one. So this quest probably is going to take a very long time. Now, I do understand that apparently this quest is not really meant to be done in one sitting. This is the kind of quest that, you do a little bit of it, you chip away at it a little bit, you kind of put it back into the background, and like you keep going back to it until at some point it is done. Now, today's video probably won't be very long either, because I don't really have as much time today. So I thought, you know what, let's start Recipe for Disaster. I'm not expecting to finish it in one video anyway, so I can just kind of, get a bit of a start going, and we'll see how far we get before I have to leave. So let's talk to the cook in Lumbridge Castle, which of course is the guy that's literally within me right now, so let's talk to him. How is the adventuring going, my friend? Do you have any other quests for me? That last one of yours was so much fun, I was hoping you would. Oh dear, I might have, but it's all very embarrassing. Embarrassing? How do you mean? Well, you know how I told you that it was the Duke's birthday? Yep, that's why I had to go and collect your things to make a cake with, wasn't it? Yes, well, it isn't. I don't even know when his birthday is. Angry! It makes me angry! Or I don't really care, to be honest. You know, I'm angry, guys. I am upset. I am deeply hurt that this guy would use me. You know, I chose to believe, even in my 2-hour review, I said, you know, the making a pie for or a cake for this guy was a glorious step, and now it turns out it's all a lie. I am deeply hurt, guys. I'm deeply hurt. Okay, angry. It makes me angry. Grrr. Here we go. That's my anger. Why did you have me running around finding ingredients for you then? I needed to test you and see if I could trust you. I am in a terrible pickle, and I desperately need somebody trustworthy to help me out. So what seems to be the problem? You need help again? Well, what seems to be the problem? Well, you're obviously trustworthy. I guess I could tell you. Please do. The suffering of others always seems to turn out very profitable for me. Well, it's like this. Did you ever hear of Frenezard van Lumkoek? Nope. Can't say I have. And with a name like that, I'm sure I would remember. Well, he was a great chef and also my ancestor. 100 years ago, there was a very important meeting held here in Lumbridge Castle, and he cooked a banquet for the meeting, which was so stupendously amazing that he was offered a job for life, along with all of his descendants. So you have your job because 100 years ago your ancestor was a very good cook? I don't see how that's much of a problem for you. In fact, I would say you are a very lucky man indeed. Frankly, I'd have fired you by now if you worked for me. No, you don't understand. This big important secret meeting that Frenezard cooked for is held here in Lumbridge Castle every 10 years, and tonight will be the 10th anniversary of it. Still not seeing the problem? Well, I have always felt like a failure as a cook, and that my job here is down to the skills of my ancestor. I want to prove to the world that I am a great cook too. But to do that... no, it just won't work. What won't? Come on, man, pull yourself together and speak to me. Well, I thought I would recreate the meal Frenezard cooked all those years ago. The one that impressed everybody so much. There's just this little small problem though. Let me take a wild guess. You have the recipe, but you don't have any of the ingredients. And obviously you can't just go and get them yourself. Yes, however did you know? Call it a hunch. Okay, tell me what you're after and then I'll decide if I want to help you or not. Well, they are common enough ingredients, although I must admit the recipe I'm following is a very strange indeed. I will pay you up front for any expense you may incur while obtaining them, and of course you may keep the change for being so helpful to me. Please can you go help me? The feast is scheduled to start very soon, and I simply cannot leave. Start the recipe for disaster quest. Yes. I would love to help you. What do I have to do? Well, I have an incredibly important banquet that I have to prepare for, and I am using an ancient cookbook to recreate the meal my famous ancestor made 100 years ago. Most of the ingredients I was able to obtain fairly easily, but there were some oddities that I have been unable to lay my hands on. Like what? I need the following ingredients as soon as possible. 1 eye of Nude, a freshly made dirty blast and a rotten tomato. And a glass of Greenman's ale. I have given you 100 coins to cover any expense you may incur. Feel free to keep the change. I'll go look for those for you then. Alright, so here we go. Recipe for disaster. There's also a recruitment drive, by the way, which sounds really fun. I've heard people say it's really, really fun, so we've got to check it out later as well. With a ceramic vase, you know, the puns I kept on missing. But recipe for disaster is a very interesting one, apparently, so I'm really curious to see where it's going to lead me, because apparently it's very long. I spoke to the cook in Lumbridge, who has asked for my help again in preparing a feast for some very important visitors to the castle. The ingredients I need to collect for the cook are a dirty blast, a glass of Greenman's ale, a rotten tomato, and an eye of Nude. Speaking of disasters, let me paint you a picture. You are sweating away in the mines, trying to get that final mining level. Meanwhile, your favorite YouTube series is playing on your 17th monitor. But wait, what's that? You're all caught up? Well, we've all been there. hours left to grind, but no idea what content to watch. But worry not, for the solution is right in front of you. Well, that is assuming your 17th monitor is somewhere in this room. The amazing people over at Rotten Lobsters have got you covered. It's Rotten Tomatoes, but better, because instead of rating movies, you get to rate OSRS series. With over 250 series and thousands of reviews, you can sort by rating, type of content, and so much more. You'll be able to find fan favorites, such as Swampletics and by release, but also unknown people like, well, me. Come join Rotten Lobsters, explore all the series, and make sure you never run out of content. May your grind be smooth and your attention never actually on the game itself. The link to the website is in the description, and now let's get back to the video. Okay, so the Eye of Nude, I'm pretty sure I can just buy. The Rotten Tomato, I mean, I don't know how I get a Rotten Tomato, but I guess I can. Do I have to farm it? No, probably not, right? Because, you know, I don't have farming requirements for this one. A Dirty Blast, I'm not sure, but that sounds like it's a drink that I can maybe buy at one of the bars. And then a glass of Greenman's Ale, maybe a similar thing. Okay, I guess I'll go check out... Oh wait, go away, Bob. I don't have time for you, Bob. Is there an inn here in Lumbridge, actually? I'm not quite sure. There is a pub. Oh, the pub is where the guy was for the treasure hunting introduction quest that I kind of forgot the name of. Wasn't the guy like standing right here somewhere? I guess he's no longer here. Alright, let's talk to the bartender. Bartender, no, go away with your thing. Welcome to the Sheared Ram. What can I do for you? I'll have a beer, please. I heard any rumors recently? What about the rumors? No, it hasn't been very busy lately. Oh, okay, nothing here. Alright, so do we just go to Varrock or something and maybe some people there will have some idea? It's a very open-ended quest. Alright, so maybe this bartender has some information for me. Barkeep, what can I do for you? A glass of your finest ale, please? Something about fortune? What about the finest ale? No problem, that'll be 2 gold coins. Okay, so we just get some regular beer. Okay, I don't really care about the beer. Just drop the beer. Okay. So we don't go here either. Now, the Eye of Nude, I'm not too worried about. I mean, to be fair, I could just pick it up from the Grand Exchange because we've gotten that multiple times. So that one I'm not too worried about. Let me go back to the quest, actually. So Recipe for Disaster. So the Eye of Nude I can get. A Rotten Tomato I can probably get like at a farm shop or something. And not quite sure. But these two look like drinks. A Dirty Blast. I'm kind of expecting a Dirty Blast to be something in Falador. I did bring some runes to be able to teleport around. I'm thinking, because there was like the Mind Blast or something at the inn here. So maybe they also sell this other dirty whatever it was. So can I talk to Kaylee? Kaylee, hey, what can I get you? What else are you serving? So Asgardian Ale, a Wizard's Mind Bomb, and Dwarven Stout. No, that's not what I need either. Where do I go about getting these things? A glass of Greenman's Ale. Who's Greenman? Is there a guy called Greenman in one of the inns or something? But also the dirty... There's like 3 items in this list that I don't really know how to get. And there's also 3 items that don't really have a starting point for me. Like, I don't really know where I can even start searching for them. Now, because you can start it at a very low level, I am expecting it to be, at least the initial part, I'm expecting it to be in like the Lumbridge, you know, Varrock, Falador area, like Draenor maybe, like just around here. I mean, there's different inns I can go visit. I can go down to this pub, and I guess there's more. But it is a members quest, so it could also just be asking that I go to Tavali or something. Or maybe to Calabi even. Okay, so someone who just added me, a Moon Knight, is asking me what my favorite thing is I've done so far. This is a really good question, so instead of just answering it to him, I guess I'll answer it to everyone here. And the answer is, let me think for a moment. I think it might have to be the build-up to Dragon Slayer 1. And the reason for that is that it involved a lot of different skilling for me. Because I spent a fair amount of time fishing to be able to get lobsters, which would then be better food because I needed better food. And at level cooking, so I could, you know, actually cook the lobsters. And I had to try and make a little bit of money. I think I sold some stuff. I can't remember what exactly I sold. I think some ores maybe and some logs and stuff. but I needed that in order to be able to purchase the rune gear, which I then of course bought as well to be able to deal with Elvag. I think that whole setup process, like the feeling of vertical progression for a short while, I think that probably was my favorite experience so far. I've been really enjoying the model load mine. I think it's a really cool place. In terms of the quests I've most enjoyed, I've really enjoyed, well, you know, Dragon Slayer, Below Ice Mountain. I really enjoyed the giant dwarf quest the other day as well. I thought the ending with like the ore delivery was a little bit wonky, but besides that, it was really cool as well. I mean, there's so much I enjoy. So far, I have to admit, by the way, like this initial part of Recipe of Disaster, I am not enjoying. I'm not sure if it's a bad quest, of course, you know, because I'm very early in right now, but the quest is giving me like a list of things to get with no indication as to where I get these. Now, I'm not sure why I'm here, by the way, because I thought I'd be able to buy the Eyes of Nude here, but I don't think it's even here, so I don't know why I ran up to this person over here. But I can go buy that somewhere else, of course. I think I can just go buy it in the shop over here at the... Was it the magic shop? Or was it here? Actually, it might have been here somewhere. I mean, I can just buy it at the Grand Exchange, really, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, it doesn't really tell me where I can get these things, and I've just been kind of scanning through the world and trying to figure out where I can get these things. You know, if there was a place called like something Greenman, like maybe it's a place, it's a pub, but if I look up like Green nothing ale, I mean, yeah, I guess I find Auburnvale, which is a different place that I will not go to for quite a while, I guess. So there really isn't any indication as to where I get this. This quest kind of feels like one of those quests that is super fun to do with your entire clan together, like, you know, like 40, 50, whatever people all together. Like everyone's like, hey, have you found this thing yet? And then, you know, someone says, guys, I found it, you know, and everyone just goes over there, grabs the thing, and then like you slowly piece together all of these things together. I think it's that kind of quest, but for me right now, I don't know. All right, so I got my Eye of Nude, and I was wondering, the rotten tomato that I need, could I just buy a tomato somewhere, go to Mauritania, and have the ghasts ruin the food for me? Like, does it turn into a standard ruined food item, or does it turn specifically into a rotten tomato? Because I think that's a way I could probably make a rotten tomato. So I would have to find a place where I could buy fruit. Now I think there's a fruit stall, vegetable. Wait. For some reason, like, my mind's always like fruit, vegetable. What's a fruit? What's a vegetable? For some reason, my mind just always trips up on those. So tomatoes are, I think they are called fruits. I'm not sure. Oh, just very quickly wanted to mention something, by the way, and I've mentioned this before in the series, but I just kind of want to quickly rehash it, you know, because people have still been reaching out to me, although a little bit less, of course, now that we're deeper into the series. But if you're watching this right now and, you know, you haven't yet chatted with me in game, and you do want to send me a message, like talk to me about anything, you know, you're still always welcome to send me a message in game, have a bit of a chat. You're always welcome to join the clan, of course. The clan is kind of small, like it's, you know, 13 people. And then like the occasional guest here and there. We're very small, but if you do want to, you know, join the community, then feel free to send me a message in game. And of course, you can always join the Discord as well. Link will be in the description. Oh, there is a food shop here in the desert. So I guess I go back to Lumbridge and then go over to this food shop. Maybe there's something there. Wait, this guy only sells kebabs? Is this literally the only thing I can buy here? Really? But I don't know, man. Karim, do you really only sell kebabs? Okay, that's unfortunate. Okay, there are two food shops over here in Ardone. One of them has to sell that, right? So I will just teleport over to Trinmon Village and walk over there. I'm not sure if I had shown this yet, by the way, but I did enable one of these plugins that makes it a world map instead of a list, which I think is kind of cool. I might have already mentioned this, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, I can go to... Wait, the battlefield of Khazad, isn't that closer? It's also the Gnome Stronghold. Which one will be closer? Hold on, let me go to the world map. So the battlefield of Khazad is right here, isn't it? Yeah, it's this battlefield over here. That's closer than Trinon Village, which I guess is also closer than the stronghold. So I guess we go to the battlefield of Khazad. Here we go. Oh yeah, it's this tree. Wait, I think I've already done this once. Yeah, this is a very easy way to get to Ardougne. Okay, nice. Let's find my way to the food shop. And hope this is where I have to be. Alright, we are at the food shop. So we've got the baker. I don't want the baker. I want a fruit stall or something. There is another baker. Wait, so the icon up here. Is this a bread icon? Is this a bread... So is this a bakery? But then... I'm trying to piece this together because they seem to be using food shop, but then using different food items, like on the map. So I guess those are meant to be distinguishable between the different food types. There is a food shop here as well, but there's like a fork and a knife or something. I don't know. Like they're too small. I can't see them. What is this shop? I mean, I can go to Yanil. It's not too far away, but I don't know if that's where I have to go. There are more food shops over here. There's a food shop, which is also a bakery, I suppose, because there's a bread icon. And what was this one on the map? This one on the map was a... That looks like it's a fruit basket. Like, it's very tiny, but it looks like it's a fruit basket. But he only had kebabs. He only had kebabs, guys. Okay, there is a farming shop. Maybe it's considered farming produce? Richard, I need a tomato. Wait, he does sell a tomato, but he doesn't have stock. My god, why does nobody have stock on things that I need in this game? None of these have stock, which makes me wonder whether I can even get these, or if I can only... Wait, no, that's a potato, not a tomato. I'm wondering if I can only get these after people have maybe sold them to him so that he gets stock. I mean, I guess I can maybe farm them myself, but I want to just quickly buy it. Hold on, let me go to farming. I've really not enjoyed farming, guys. I mean, not to say that farming isn't fun, but I just haven't enjoyed it yet. Tomatoes, yeah, I can't make them anyway because I need level 12 farming, which I guess I can go spend some time and do. But it can't be that hard to just find a friggin' tomato, can it? Okay, but I know you can buy it at farming shops. So, more farming shops. Yeah, there are a lot of farming shops. Okay, maybe I can get in one of these. Alright, Sarah, please, do you sell me tomatoes? No tomato! Is it the world I'm on? It's not a world I'm on, right? Why do these vendors not have anything? Can I just buy a friggin' tomato off you? Hold on, okay, relax. There's another farming shop down there. We can go there. Just a tomato, okay? Just a tomato. This reminds me of the friggin' onions from back in the day. Was it Olivia? Is she the one? I mean, she doesn't sell tomato seeds even. Like, even those seeds are sold out. Is everything sold out? Isn't there no... Hold on. Who is this guy? What does he sell again? No, like wine and stuff? I don't really know. Oh my god, getting a tomato is harder than doing Dragon Slayer, guys. Come on, why does nobody have a freaking tomato for me? Anyway, unfortunately, that is all the time I have for today, and I don't think I will have more time before I want to publish this video, so I'll do an outro here. Maybe I will still add something in which case I will just skip this, but I don't think I'll have the time. So, guys, it's a bit of a weird video today, and not really much progress has been made. It's also probably kind of short. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and next time, I'm praying I'll find a tomato. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, guys.